Hello, everyone. Welcome to a quick channel update. Um, and I hope everyone's doing well. And we're doing a channel update because we have a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline. The schedule is going to be a little touch and go with the battle reports. We've got a lot of stuff going on when it comes to family events. For example, next week, my wife and I are going to go to back-to-back holiday parties, squadron holiday parties. So please keep that in mind. So there wasn't any battle reports this week. There won't be any battle reports next week, or there might be, but it's going to be a quick one. It's not going to be a large 2,000 point ITC battle report. So there's that. The vampire counts is still going on. I'm actually going to preview that right now after the end of this video. I'm going to premiere the second or third episode, I want to say, of the vampire counts, and I might film the vampire counts tomorrow too. Might do some filming there for the vampire counts, and I actually want to get your guys' opinion on the Warhammer 2 filming episodes for the campaigns and whatnot. I'm genuinely curious about that. I hope everyone is at least I hope everyone likes that content. We will be doing more ITC. We will be doing more ITC events. That is not. That's not going to be going away anytime soon, and we're actually going to do the new campaign, which I want to say is Vigilance for Warhammer. Age of Sigmar is on the way. Yeah, Vigilance. I forget the full name. Yeah, Imperial Nihilist Vigilance Defiant. Yeah, I wanna actually get that going. And I'll be buying that campaign book, and we'll play a few of the small games with that. So don't think that I'm not ignoring the new content that's coming out. Ooh. Ooh. I like that. I like that campaign badge that they're coming out with. Ooh. I'm gonna snag that. When you order the Vigilance Defiance now. Oh, yes. That could be on the... Absolutely. Pre-order. Yep, that's Yep. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely getting that. Mechanica Steam card code. Oh, cool. So you get 3 things for $50. That's not bad. Anyway, so I'll be doing that. So we will get into that when that gets released. And I'm going to try and aim for 2,000 point battles from now on, because I guess that's what a lot of people are looking forward to. Is I got a little bit of fuzz. Is the 2,000 point ITC battles. So we're getting into that. I actually tried to debut last night Battlefleet Gothic on the channel, but for some reason my capture equipment, Xbox DVR, wouldn't let me capture, which is really frustrating. Maybe it's because it's in beta and you can't capture in beta, or you can't stream in beta. I don't know. I tried on Steam several times, and there are a whole bunch of people posting content. So maybe they're using 3D capture cards or video capture cards, and I don't have that just yet. So we're working on that. We really are. But I do want to do Battlefleet Gothic 2. So we'll have Warhammer. We'll have Warhammer. Total War, Warhammer 2, Constant. We'll have, and the two campaigns that we're doing for Total War Warhammer 2 is the Empire and the Vampire Counts. I want to know what your opinion is on those two series. Someone had mentioned the dwarves. I want to say that was Frank Bellew. I would like to do the dwarves next, and maybe the orcs. I haven't decided yet. Your opinions in the comments below, please let me know. We are going to do Age of Sigmar. I have a boatload of Empire that I'm going to be building and painting over the breaks. We do have, but the Age of Sigmar is going to be when my other player is ready and got that squared away. And then we've got, trying to think of what else we have going on. Not much in the way of like new series. So we have Battlefleet Gothic, we have the Total War, Warhammer, and those are filler episodes when I can't do battle reports. We'll be still doing D&D. D&D is going to be delayed until the 21st of December. And trying to think, battle reports are going to be, so the next battle report will actually be filmed on the 20, I'll try and film on the 14th, but it's not a guarantee because I've got a lot of stuff to do that day, but I'll try and film it on the 14th. If not, the 21st is definitely going to be a battle report. So 2 weeks without a battle report. I hope you guys just kind of hang tight. But then 21st, the 28th, I'm working, so I can't film there. And I think the 4th, I'm off. So we'll be going back to every Friday. It will be a battle report after the new year. Same with D&D, every other Friday after the new year. We'll probably film the 21st for D&D. That's going to be the thing. And that'll be our last episode of the new year. And then, yeah, January is right around the corner. So there's all that. I hope everyone has a safe and happy holiday. For those of you who celebrate Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah. For those of you who celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas, all that stuff. And for those of you who, I think Saturnalia just passed, so I'm a little late on the Saturnalia. Merry Saturnalia or joyous Saturnalia, whatnot. So, trying to think of what else. I can't think of anything else that we need to talk about. Let's see. Talked about Battlefleet Gothic 2. I'm so excited for that. Talked about Warhammer 2, the 2 series, and what else people would want. Talked about Age of Sigmar. We will be playing as the Empire. That is the only army I've got so far. I don't think I'm going to expand much, so it's just whoever comes who wants to play Empire with me. And then, or against me, I should say. We'll be doing Vigilus Defiant. I will be excited to get that squared away. Super excited to do the chapter approved stuff. Oh, that's gonna be fun. And I don't know what else. Yeah, I think that's it. And then D&D will pick up after the new year. So that's kind of what's going on right now. If you like what you see, make sure that you're heard, because I care about your guys' opinion. So write in the comments below, hey, I like this, and this, and we'll square that away. And if you don't like something, I'll take the constructive criticism. Hey, I didn't like the battle. Oh, let's speaking about didn't like, let's get into the comments of this last Imperial Soup battle report. I got a lot of feedback through Reddit and YouTube about the battle reports and whatnot. It was certainly eye-opening, to say the least, the feedback that we got. Yeah, so the second one that's going to be debuted is, well, I'll tell you guys that later. But I got a lot of feedback from the battle report. So let's go to the community real quick, and let's just talk to the comments. So Oliver Sharon said, yes, another fun Knights copy paste list. So I was like, well, if you didn't want to see a Knights copy paste, what other Imperial soup would you have wanted to see? And he had suggested Guard with Space Marines and Inquisitions would be fluffy. I think that's a great suggestion. I don't know how well that would work, but I think that's a great suggestion. And I do have Sisters of Battle. It's not necessarily Inquisition, but it's Adeptus Minotorum. So, yeah, close. This one guy, Pepe Lafrog, said that it's a combination of units that can be copied. Changing some things around. Just look at the recent ITC rankings. Blood Angels, Imperial Guard, Knights lists appear 29 times, with 12 of those armies getting top 3 placement with win rate above 50%. Pure Death Guard appears 12 times, had a win rate of 16%. And he says, if you know your audience, play to it. Hyper competitive ITC list and run hyper competitive ITC player. I'm not a fan of Imperial Suit because it lacks creativity. It attracts power gamers, but hey, that's your prerogative. Go ahead. There's a place and time for that. My issue is that 40K, they don't tailor their list about who they're going up against. The DG, the Death Guard guy, Robert, looked visibly frustrated, flustered, sad at the end of the game. There's no place for that in 40K. So, there was a lot of, hey, this wasn't acceptable because it was IT. You had an ITC soup versus a mono faction, and the mono faction couldn't do anything. So that's very interesting. And on Reddit, I actually got into a conversation with a Reddit user, and I'm about to pull him up right now. Let me write this down, or let me pull this up real quick. So, Mr. Ivanbot, we had talked back and forth, and I was like, well, what about Great Unclean Ones? They're a good counter to Knights, and it's not another rock, paper, scissors, because people were complaining, well, if you bring a Knight, you got to bring another Knight, and it basically goes down to rock, paper, scissors. And I was like, well, okay, I get that. I get how that is. And his basically main point is that, yes, there's always an ally. There's always ways to ally and all that. But even if you could ally with a Renegade Knight, it's the principle of the thing. Heck, I have Knight Atropos, and that would wreck any base Knight, but I'm forced to ally to stay competitive. And the meaning my army's codex is effectively worthless. He's talking about the Death Guard player, as a Death Guard player. Nowhere in GW's mission statement, rules, guidelines, star charts, FAQs, eteras, does it say that factions have to take allies to be competitive. I should not be forced to change the way I play to compete against Knight soup lists. Someone mentioned that the Knights below have created a power creep where if you bring a Knight, I immediately bring my own in order to deal with it. Where's the strategy in that? It becomes glorified rock, paper, scissors. That's my issue. And I had mentioned, true, bringing a Knight to counter another Knight is rock, paper, scissors, but I did point out Great Unclean Ones earlier on in the post. Another variance would be a good strong counter against Knights. It would break, and it would not break the Death Guard narrative. As far as the frustration with GW not being explicit in stating that you need to ally or not in tournaments to stay competitive, dude, it sucks, but GW wants to buy into the meta in the quite literal sense. They need to make money, so the whole anti-power creep, so the whole idea of anti-power creep is naive at best and blissful ignorance at worst. Power creep and meta lists is what drive GW market model, especially in the ITC circuit. Or especially in the ITC, it does suck to have a mono faction get trashed by a meta soup list, given that your army, given that it was your army. Sure, it's not going to and sure, it's not going to discredit anyone's feelings on that. But venting over GW's non-statement is counterproductive, because we all know GW's business model, and that's basically saying, hey, Games Workshop is like, if you just boil it down to the nitty gritty, Games Workshop is designed to sell models, the new and improved. I mean, they just retooled Manius Calgar to a Primaris Marine. Like, GW is literally pushing, or not pushing, but they have to evolve their model catalog in order to continue their stock being fresh. That's why there's no more old 1980s Imperial Guard kicking around. All right, because those are collector's items. No one that I know has a dedicated Mordian infantry section, a dedicated Talaran infantry section, a Steel Legion company, all that stuff. All the older models have gone the way of the buffalo. And does it suck? In my opinion, yeah, because they're the flavor, the older flavor, the uniqueness is gone. Hey, I would have loved to see a Mordian Iron Guard infantry battalion, or a Steel Legion mechanized unit, or a Valhallan conscript wave come over on the table, coming over the horizon, like the Charge of the Rohirrim. But at the end of it all, that's the truth of it. The older models are getting phased out. The collection, it's now becoming a collector's piece. And the newer models are the new hotness. And if you want to perform well in ITCs, you got to buy into the meta. And it is very much, GW is very much pay to win. You pay for the models that you know are going to win. You look in the meta, you look in the narrative, you look in what you see, and then you act on it. You just act on it. Okay, and does it suck for the non-meta ITC player? Yeah. Is there some toxicity in the community about the ITC player play testing against somebody who's mono faction or who's just doing it for fun? Of course there is. We all know that guy. As opposed to that game that we played, I told Rob, I was like, hey, he's bringing a soup list. I didn't tell him exactly what kind of soup list it was, but hey, he was bringing a soup list, and he was like, I don't care. Okay. And I told Talon, I was like, don't go ham. And I think he did go a little overboard, but at the same time, he listened to what I had to say. I was like, it's supposed to be a friendly game. So I believe it when he says, oh, I brought my casual list. I truly do believe that. Because he was talking about adding 2 more slam captains in there, and that would have been a showstopper in and of itself. So, I think that it was very interesting. There was a lot of comment and critique about. There was a lot of comment and critique about. About what was going on in the battle report. It certainly got a lot of traffic comments back. And I want to thank Ivorbot for for having the decency in communicating with me and understanding that I can't just communicate back. So I think that that's awesome. Uh, but yeah. So it was very interesting. He and I went back and whatnot. One of the stuff that his last reply to the whole thing, before we end the before we move on to the next thing, was there was a very large paragraph, but he goes, I also feel that 8th edition is geared towards making the game more accessible and fun to wider audiences, assuming that those new players want to play or play against. Assuming that all those new players want to play or play against incredibly overpowered list would be incorrect. Most people join the hobby to want to have a fun game to play and make friends, not to fight Captain Neckbeard and his ITC list. But when that happens, but what happens is when they do fight our above mentioned friend and get stomped, they don't like the feeling of losing, so they buy a knight, then play play casual games because they don't know any better. A great example of this was one of the new guys at our store, got AdMech. He loves it, been posting his paint jobs, getting new models. That's great. Fast forward to he plays a ridiculously overpowered Eldar list from one of our competitive guys, gets smashed. So what does he do the next day? He has 2 knights. Yeah, that drives sales, but it dilutes the mix of types of games. What's the difference between a competitive list and casual knight? Why can't I play narrative games without facing Smash Captains, Knights, and IGCP batteries? So he brings up a very good question, and I think he also brings up the fact that back in 7th, it was almost a standard that you asked your opponent to bring a Lord of War was okay. Now it's weird. I recently asked one of my opponents not to bring Lord of War to our friendly game, and he went off on me. So yeah, I mean, he's got a very good point, and he brings up this conversation, and I think that that's a good thing. But so really interested dynamic in that video, and I actually kind of want to reply to him right now. But yeah, so there's that. So what is coming up on deck next? So we have the video manager. Let's go to the video manager. And what's coming up on deck next is Vampire Accounts episode 2, Island Hopping. That will be next. We are going to publish that. It'll be preview, and I can't wait to see if everyone likes that episode. And yeah, so and then the next one after that is going to be Empire episode 2, and then Vampire episode 3, and then Empire episode 3, and so on and so forth, successive until we finish the what's it called, the series. So anyway, I hope everyone is going to do good for the holidays. So just as a quick recap, we covered the comments about the 2,000 point ITC game that I held, where it was Soup versus Mono Faction, Knights, Blood Angels, Guard versus Death Guard. And that was like the big comments on that. We talked about the fact that I do want to start filming Battlefleet Gothic. I just hope I can start. I hope I can capture that film. I really do. I want to capture that film. That would be nice. The second thing is we'll start Age of Sigmar, and we'll continue with the Total Warhammer 2, the Total War Warhammer 2 series with the Vampire Counts and the Empire. And if you guys want dwarves or orcs or chaos or whatever else you want, just let me know in the comments below. Age of Sigmar, it's going to be Empire versus the Sylvaneth when both of our armies are up and functional. And then just trying to think of what else. What else is on the pipe? I don't think there's anything else on the pipe, which is good. Oh, and the fact that all the battle reports will be the 14th is going to be probably a battle report. The 21st is a battle report and D&D, and then the 28th no battle report, and then the new year. That'll be the new year and whatnot. So I'm excited about that. As far as us on subscribers, we're at 100. We're at 357. That's pretty awesome. I'm super excited about that. We're not gonna make. We have, I think, until February, because that's when I started the channel, or January. I forget when I started the channel. I wanted to say February is when I started this channel. And actually, well, I started the channel back in 2006, but it was like it was my own user, so I could make comments, all that stuff. Not like as a content creator. Actually, let me scroll down all the way to the beginning, and I can tell you when the first channel aired. So, oh, March. So we have until March, unless they say January is when it resets. So we have until March to get at least 4,000 views. And let's take a look at that right now, because I'm genuinely curious. So we're at the halfway. We're way above the halfway point. We're at 2,401 hours viewed within the past 12 months, and we're just under the halfway point for subscribers, 357. But that's okay. Little baby steps. Baby steps is all that I can ever ask. So anyway, my name is Commissar Hecht. I will see you guys in the next episode. I hope you enjoy this little update, and like I said, I'll see you guys in the next episode, and I hope you guys have a happy, healthy holiday, surrounded by friends and loved ones, and yeah. If I don't do an update, I will see you guys in the new year. Bye-bye.